Lizzie is not there to assist me at the far end, but actually to readjust the camera position so we can get some good footage throughout the rescue. Here I'm filling a dry bag with water and I'm fastening it to the side of the canoe, and then as I get in on the opposite side it's going to act as a counterweight. So, looking at the way I've outfitted my boat for paddling in quite windy conditions on open water. Those who know about me know I've crossed the Irish Sea many years ago, so the furthest I've been from land in any direction is 30 miles, and that's lonely out there, I can assure you. But in recent years I'm still doing stuff on big lakes, I'm still doing stuff on the sea. I'll put a few clips in. And I need a reliable system for getting me back in the boat, whether I'm sailing or just solo paddling, if it all goes wrong. It could be that other people can't get back to me, so I need to be able to sort myself out. Now, what some people will do is turn the boat over and just climb back in. But as I've got older, I put on weight, and I can't do that, and I still need a method of rescue. So what I've done is outfitted my boat to make my life a lot easier. I put side airbags in from tribal bags, really strong. So I put side bags in, and that's going to make the boat much easier. It's easier to right the boat without taking as much water into the boat. The best system, in fact, would be to have side bags that come all the way down to the back seat. And then, you know, this is what people who specialise in canoe sailing, it's what dinghy sailors do. It allows you to right the boat with next to no water in. But because I use this boat for a whole series of purposes, white water one day, lake another day, maybe from one to the other, then I go for a compromise, these smaller side bags. So the side airbags are tied here on the internal lacing, but also underneath them are two more D-rings that are actually glued to the hull of the boat, and I'll show how to do that in my outfitting video. That holds them pretty well in place there. The other addition, which we'll see the purpose for in a moment, is two small loops of rope on the mid-thwart, the carrying thwart. Because even with these side airbags, I find it difficult to get back in. So what I do is have a system that works for me. And it doesn't matter what system you use, you need to go out and practice it and make sure it works for you. So what I do is I fill a dry bag with water. That dry bag lives in the middle of my boat. I fill it with water, and then I'll fasten it to the side of the boat as a counterweight. So if that is full of water there, I will come in over this side, and that helps me get into the boat.
And a method favoured by a lot of people, and I use it myself when I'm carrying a big kit bag. If the bag is on a leash, so it can move around in the boat, once I'm in the water, I can pull the bag round, clip it to that same loop of rope, and now that acts as my counterweight. And that's a very simple system.
So I've lots of really good dry bags. This is one of my older ones. This is a palm one. And the reason I use this for this job is that the tape at the top is really heavy duty, and it goes all the way around the bag and links back to itself. What I found is if you use a really lightweight bag, looking to cut down on weight and space and everything, I've seen those actually rip. With the pressure you're now going to put on them, I've seen them rip along the stitching and it all come apart. I need this to work in the context I'm going to use it. So first of all, that filling it with water is not easy. And one of the things over the years I've found, I'm really playing around in the water, and it can be quite stressful in hard conditions. So what I've done is a further modification. I found this that fits in the bottom of the bag. And this really is only to give the bag shape. Now it could be a sheet of plastic that you just put in there and it goes round in a circle and just laps over itself. Doesn't need to be anything fancy or fastened. I found that fits, that stays in the bottom. But that means when I go to fill the bag stays open. And filling the bag in the water is not easy. But just by having that in the bottom, put my hand in and force it down, I've got a bag of water. So, once it's full, it needs to be rolled. If you don't roll it up, as the boat turns over, all the water is squeezed out of the bag. So what I can then do, Billy, out of the way, come on. Thank you. You gonna, yeah. Hey, good boy. So, roll it down as I would normally. I can fasten it with the plastic. So what you could do is just take the bag and clip it round the thwart, or in my case, I can clip it to the purple rope. But these are only plastic buckles. And one of the things I've learnt over the years, if it's gone wrong enough for you to be in trouble, it likes going more wrong. So what I've done here is that I've got a piece of cord through the end of the tape. So though I may have done this up, I'll now take a carabiner, which it will be attached to a carabiner in there. And now I'll have to fit it in on the side that I am at, but in reality, let's put it over there. Now, as I go in the boat, I've got the advantage of this side airbag to give me an advantage getting in. I'm still going to take water on, but on that side I've got a counterweight. And what I've found is that this is extremely reliable for me. Other people won't need the counterweight, I do. So work out what works for you.
And then get out there and practice it in a safe place or with support. Lucy is just at the end of my canoe to adjust the camera boom once I pull the boat upright, so we've got better pictures of the actual rescue. The wind is at the top end of force 4 and is constantly pushing the boat onto me, hence you'll see I keep switching sides of the boat. And what's making this more difficult is I really am having to hang on to the boat because now it's upright. If I let go, it will quickly go away from me. Filling the bag takes time and effort. And if I was just using a large rucksack, if I had one with me, and I don't most days, then I could just put it over the side and clip it and everything would be very much faster. Once I'm in this position, I'm a little ungainly nowadays, I've got old, so I just take my time. Here I'm catching my breath, and I've left the dry bag with water in it as a counterbalance, and I just make a point of leaning away from it slightly. But this particular boat with the big airbags in the ends and the side airbags is pretty damn stable. It hasn't taken on that much water. And now Once I've bailed enough water, and I can take it all the way down to dry if need be, but once I've bailed enough, then I can unclip the dry bag and empty it, and that's one less thing slowing me down in the water. As I begin to turn and run with the waves, now you can actually see the swell that was rolling throughout the entire exercise. This again was making life more interesting. Many thanks to Lizzie Harrington for ideas and providing safety cover while I go through all of this, and a link to her website will be below in the description. If you found this video interesting or useful, please subscribe in the bottom right hand corner by clicking on the icon, and as ever, likes and comments are always very, very useful and welcome. Thank you.